told me you deleted everything from Chris.
I removed it.
You guys can just pull everything off that phone if you
As long
want.
as you're okay with that, that's would be
I mean,
my
if that
preference.
makes your life easier.
Let's get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11?
Yeah, we talked a few times. So, Sunday,
Okay.
I think so. I need to think. I can't even think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a meal, a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. I honestly, we talk about so much random stuff. It's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation, though. We probably talked about all sorts of stuff. One thing I do remember, though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is where I'm starting to remember little bits and pieces. I don't remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation. I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. I got home to go meet my buddy. One of my good friends was coming over to my house. And he actually has the key to my house, so he was actually there when I got there. And
Who's that?
My friend Jim. And so Jim came over, and I got home. He was there. He had just walked in the door. And I remember briefly after he got there, I checked my texts. I mean, briefly after I met up with Jim, I glanced at my texts. And Chris said something about my family's not home. I would really not like to involve him in this. He does not know about this. He was not he doesn't know any of this is occurring.
Okay.
I was literally
so
trying to...
he knows certainly through the media that something's occurred.
Yeah, he's
with
out of
Chris.
town. He's probably has no
Okay.
idea. He doesn't know
Okay.
who Chris is. He's not... I do not know.
So he's just a friend of yours.
Yes.
Um,
He does
that
not need
was
to be
coming
dragged
to
into
your
this.
apartment and doesn't know anything about Chris. Does he know anything about
No,
Chris? Okay.
nothing. Absolutely
And
not.
we've known Jim for
Yeah.
years and years.
You're not dating him or anything like that?
No,
It's just a
he's
friend.
one of my very good friends. My dad knows him. He's a great guy. He works out of state a lot, so when he's in town, we hang out. But when he's in town and he's off of work to save time, so I give him a key to my house, one, because I trust him and he's one of my best friends, and two, because sometimes he will just meet me there, because I'll be like, hey, I'm getting off of work, and then if I get stuck in traffic or something, he ends up sitting outside of my apartment waiting for me to get off of work. So I'm like, here's a key, and my dog loves him and stuff. So no, he's not
So he's just
involved with
family
it.
friends.
Yes, I don't even
The only
want
reason
him
I
dragged
asked,
into this.
and I'm not really concerned about your location. I think we already have your cell phone records. At some point, did Mark ask you to supply? Did they ask for consent to get cell phone records? That'll probably be done by warrant. If we
Isn't
wanted,
that what you just did?
nope. What I'm talking about is your movement
Oh.
by GPS or by cell phone tower to show where you were. Obviously, and I don't want to cause you concern, we want to know where you were that day too. You're dating a man who did some egregious stuff, and we want to show that you were never near him that day. Period.
I mean, you guys
So-
can track my
No,
stuff.
yeah, I mean that was something we will have to get a warrant for, anyways. I'm just saying, if we asked for it, would you have any objections to that?
No, you can have
Right.
it.
So,
If I'm a pretty boring person,
well,
I don't
it sounds
go
like
too
you
many
just
places.
went to work that day, and then you came home and you were there at 3:45.
Yeah, give or take 5
Yeah,
minutes.
right.
But yeah, so 3:45, I meet Jim there. Yeah, I would
And
totally.
so Jim is understand from an investigative point, he could be a person who could say, yeah, I was there at 3:45. He doesn't know Chris. He doesn't know anything. He could say with one phone call, yeah, she came in at 3:45. Done.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask anything more than, hi, Chris, my name's Kevin. Or Jim. And I'm not saying you have to give it to you.
Just leave Jim
But
alone.
if
Jim does
at
not need to
some
be wrapped
point-
up in this.
If at some point I needed Jim's info let's say we couldn't find your phone records. Would you
You
tell
can
me who
have
Jim
them.
is?
I will give them to you.
Would you tell me who Jim was if I
If
couldn't
you
get
had
it?
to.
Okay.
I don't really want to
Great.
involve him in this. That is not
Perfect.
fair to him. That's not, no, if I do not have to do that.
That's fine.
Something that just kind of like dawned on me last night as he made the comment directly after that. He said, I had to wash the kids' sheets. He was like, they smelled. And I was thinking about that last night, and I'm like, this man keeps that house so clean. That's like the cleanest house I've ever seen. And I'm like, this man keeps that house so clean. Why would his kids' sheets smell bad?
And this,
And that-
you think this was
what?
Monday night? What time do you think it was Monday night?
Oh God, I don't even know. I almost wish you guys would show me my phone
So
records.
I'm gonna
Probably
read
don't.
off your phone calls for Monday and Tuesday, starting
No, it's on Monday.
Okay,
just
so-
tell me on Monday night.
Monday night. You guys had we talked about a phone call yesterday, but you guys had a phone call Monday night. It looks like he called you. It was 48 minutes and 57 seconds. It was at 9:48 p.m. that he called you. So that would take us to about 10:35, and then there's another call on Monday. It's for 51 minutes and 25 seconds. It looks like, I'm not sure looking at this who called who, but it looks like you called him, and that was at 11:09 p.m. That lasted 51 minutes, so that takes us to midnight. And then there's another phone call where he calls you. So we're now into midnight, Tuesday morning. It's a 30-minute phone call that lasts until 12:38 a.m. And then after 12:38 a.m., there's a 2-minute and 44-second phone call that that starts at 1:12 a.m. It's 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So
Yeah, so I would almost, this is just me, but I would go get my text messages with him from that night, and I would sync them up to that time frame, because
Okay.
there was texting in between that. So I think what happened is he called me on that first call, and then there's that gap between the first call and the second call. In that gap, that was when we FaceTimed for a few minutes, and that was when I got up out of bed because I was just having trouble sleeping, and I went and did laundry. That's what I did. I went I just put some clothes in the dryer, and then I think I called him back, and then we continued to talk. So that little gap right there between those two big phone calls at the very beginning of the night,
Yes.
I mean, not the very beginning of the night, but the big ones at the first two. So in between that gap, there's a quick FaceTime.
So do
and
you
then
think
there's
that 2-minute and 44 second is the FaceTime?
the one at the very end?
Yeah. Well, so there's
No,
there.
I don't even think the FaceTime's on there.
Okay,
Because
so-
the FaceTime occurred in between those two big phone calls. That
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Because it was one big phone call, and then there should have been there's a FaceTime, and in the FaceTime short, it's only a few minutes, and then there's probably just a few more minutes.
There's
and that's probably
So
what?
there's a few more calls on Tuesday. So 1:12 is the 2-minute and 44 second call. That lasts till approximately 1:14, and then there's a long gap until 1:50. So another 45 or 35 minutes, and then there's a 7-minute phone call. That phone call lasts till 1:58 a.m., and then there's a 10-second phone call at 2:07 a.m., followed by. I think he calls you and maybe leaves a voicemail or something, or you don't pick up. So there's a 10-second call, and then directly after that, there's a 10-minute and 24-second phone call.
Okay, so I'm talking about the two at the very beginning of the
Okay,
two at very
the
beginning,
two long
really
ones?
long ones.
And is
Yeah.
that when he's talking
So-
about the kids'
Yes,
sheets?
with the sheet. Okay, so yes. I will help you line this up. I almost want to just come in there and drop and drag all of my texts to where they were going. with
And
this, because
you know what?
the
We may meet and do that here coming early next week.